We're closing out this study on what would Jesus preach. This is an important lesson. Jesus would preach to those who have wandered away from the truth, come home. In Luke chapter 15, Jesus tells three parables. The first is about a lost sheep. And it talks about a shepherd that goes out and retrieves that lost sheep. And then the next parable is about a lost coin. A woman's lost a coin, but she just will not give up until she finds that lost coin. That's what God's like. He just will not give up. And He'll go out and find that lost sheep. But then He tells the story of a lost boy and a father. And God's like a father who's always anxious for His children to come home. And that boy wanted to go out on his own, and he said, "Father, give me my inheritance now, and I'll go out on my own." And the text tells us that he spent his money in wild living. Well, one day all that money was gone. There was a famine in that land, and he had to attach himself to a farmer. And this Jewish boy did what was unthinkable. He went and attached himself to a farmer and began to feed the swine. And in verse number 17 it says, "But when he came to himself," here he is. He's feeding the swine. He was so hungry he was thinking, maybe I should eat what the swine are eating. But the text says when he came to himself, he woke up. And that's what the person who's wandered away from God has to do. They have to wake up and realize, you know what? I am living in a pig pen. When you're living away from God, life has no meaning, no purpose. He came to himself and he decided, he said, you know, even the lowest servant in my Father's house has it better than me. I'll go home and be a servant. And he decides that he's going to go home and he's going to tell his father, "I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your servants." But the father saw him a long ways off. And verse number 20 says, "But when he was still a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him." It's one of the most beautiful stories in the Bible, but what really makes it beautiful is the reality that it's about God as a father. And God as a father is anxious for His children to come home. If you've never been obedient to the gospel, you need to be obedient to the gospel through faith, repentance, confession, and baptism. If you have, but you've wandered away, you can come home. God can forgive you. We hope you'll do that. We want to help you. You can send us an email or you can reach out to us on Facebook. We want to help you in any way we can. Thanks for being with us, and join us again next week for your Daily 180.